Khan from MLive.
Yeah, hi, Bobby. Can you just confirm, have you been cleared? Are you good to go tomorrow?
I believe I am. It's my expectation. I knew that we had to talk about it after practice today to get the 100% okay, which I fully plan on getting because I felt great and was happy with the way I've responded to my injury in the last 5 days here. So all good news, and hopefully, I get to join the guys tomorrow on the ice.
I'm assuming you'll be on the line with Fabry and Zadina from your time in camp early on. Do you feel comfortable there? I mean, do you feel you built some chemistry with those guys? And also, how much did missing those several days kind of set you back?
It hurt in the sense that there were 2 games, and I got the first game in, and then the intensity really kind of ramped up for the second and third, and it was tough to miss those. Because like I said, the first time through, you just can't simulate the increase in speed until you feel it. And I felt like I missed quite a bit there, but luckily I've been around for a while and I can kind of, get it back quickly. That's my expectation anyway. We'll see. As to that, I don't know that I'm playing with those guys. I haven't been told that yet, and that's not who I skated with today. So, but whoever it is, I'm just happy to be back in whatever role that they give me after missing the most important week of training camp. I'll play wherever. It doesn't bother me.
Thanks.
No problem.
Next up, Helene St. James from the Detroit Free Press.
Hi, Bobby. It looks like you were practicing with Dylan Larkin's power play unit. I have to think you guys feel like, last night aside, and I know you didn't play, that there's enough talent on that line that you guys can be a dangerous group.
Yeah, I really think we can. I think we've gotten reps together in camp, and then I miss the scrimmages where you get real reps, and that makes it a little more difficult for me to slide in. I think I can help them on the entries because we weren't real crisp there last night, and we're a little better at it today this morning. So I think so. I think if me and Bert continue to be the net front guys, and that Bert's going to get a stick on just about everything that comes through there, it can create a lot of havoc down low, and then we can let the skill guys do what they do on the outside. So tons of potential. Now it's, potential is great, but you have to find a way to execute, and especially in a short year, the special teams are going to be more emphasized than ever, really.
And then as far as you can address this, but it's been such a long time since most of the guys on the team played, since you played. Do you get the sense that it helped for them just to have last night out of the way? And I know obviously for you, tomorrow will have been your first game, but just as a team to have gotten the first one out of the way.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect, right, in that first game after so long. And I kind of, as much as I watched and on the first 2 periods I watched on TV, and I felt like we looked terrible. And then when I watched the third up top, I said, okay, it's not this bad. It's just terrible on TV. So it didn't translate well when you're trying to pick things apart, but it's nice to get that out of the way. And all those things that you don't see for 10 months, the reads that you have to make, the 30-foot passes that all of a sudden are more important than they are in an informal skate. Those things add up, and you got to get those out of the way. And, there's a lot of growing room after that game from what I saw. And now it's my turn to go through that first game. So try not to pick me apart too badly.
What did you just think of the experience of watching it up top? I mean, kind of weird with the tarps covering the stands, and, the little Caesars dudes were the only cheerleaders over in the one corner. And
yeah, it was different. I'm not sure what to expect. I talked to so many guys that played in the bubble and how it was. And I think they did a great job with the synthetic noise and to try and create some atmosphere. But it's hard when you're up. I mean, I'm sure you can hear it. You can almost hear the people talking, the guys yelling at each other and talking. And that's a different experience. So I enjoyed it. I don't want to do it again. I'd rather be down there with the guys from here on out.
Thanks, Bobby.
My pleasure.
Next question from Max Boltman with The Athletic.
Hey, Bobby, I think you just touched on it a minute ago, but Larkin mentioned that the first, period of that game, he felt like it was like game 7 with how few lanes there were. What stood out to you, and what do you expect the biggest challenges will be stepping into this without even kind of having those last couple scrimmages?
Yeah, I think my challenges will be what the guys went through. it'll feel a lot faster than it is, and it'll be a little tougher to settle into things. I think, and granted they won, but I think the third team would tell you that they had a lot of panic plays, a lot of plays where you just push the puck up the wall where you don't realize there's 10 feet of ice, and whatever it might be, you have time to make a play that you just don't think's there because you haven't felt that pressure. So those will be my challenges as well. And you hope the guys get a little bit better after playing it one game. You hope that they feel that. And, to me, the ice looked like it hasn't been skated on in 10 months, right? And just laid and it got slushy quick. So those are things that you have to accept because that's the nature of it. But, it's about simplifying and then executing at that point. Maybe not making the pass across the blue line, just get the puck deep and try to find an ugly one. And the ice will get better as it gets colder out and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of things to build on, that's for sure.
I'm sure you'd have rather been down there experiencing it, but do you think there's any advantage to having gotten to see that time and space and guys kind of going through adjusting to that from up top?
I think the only thing I realized when I drove home last night, I was thinking about it, that I would be the MVP of the league if I could play every game from up there. It's the things that you think you're seeing are not quite there in the player's eyes. So I took everything with a grain of salt last night. And, now knowing that, that it's much easier up there, you're a little easier on yourself looking at the video.
Thanks, Bobby.
My pleasure.
Next up, Art Regner from DetroitRedWings.com.
Hi, Bobby.
Great.
Hey, I am. This is kind of a big picture question, so follow me on this just for a second. Steve gets you all fired up to be a Red Wing. You go golfing with Larkin and Bertuzzi and Fabre, I believe. You come to Detroit early. You're practicing. You're engaged. You're eager to be a Red Wing. Then you get this little setback. I'm kind of curious. When you step on that ice tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, first time wearing that red and white, I mean, what's going through your mind? Is it youthful Bobby Ryan is from a rookie with the Ducks, or I mean, how eager, I guess, are you to just get on that ice and start playing?
Yeah, I have that same kind of nervous energy that I've had in the past. My first game in Ottawa, my first game in Anaheim, which was the first game in the league. All those things you kind of get over again. I talked to Vladdy today, and he said he hadn't recalled being that nervous in a while. And, it's not lost on me that I'm getting to wear an original 6 jersey. So there's a lot of history there, and you want to do right by it. And I'm excited to put it on. I've been excited every day. So the 8 days, I think it was, give or take, that I, was on the shelf and watching the guys from the weight room, it just was. It's a setback, but it's grating, and it kind of wears you down. But I didn't lose that kind of youthful enthusiasm to get back that I've had for the past 5 months getting ready for this. My excitement's at an all-time high. Just excited to get through the day and get going tomorrow. Been long enough.
When you looked at it from up top, Red Wings have had lately trouble scoring goals. Carolina blocked a lot of shots. They're tenacious on the forecheck. How do you fight through that? I mean, like you said, from up top, it all looks easy for all of us as we're watching it. But how do you, take the next step against a very good Carolina team?
You're right in the sense that they block a lot of shots, and they fan everything to the outside. So sometimes when you're floating pucks in through there and you think that you're going to create second and third, they do a good job of kind of deflecting wide and keeping you out there. In my experience playing those kind of teams, it serves to bring a third guy high sometimes to really stretch out the zone a little bit. You always have to keep a guy on the net, but you kind of got to get some pucks low behind the net, make them turn, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. And then ultimately, Mrazek's a good goalie. He's going to save what he can see. So you gotta fight, like you said, you got to fight to get to the net, and you got to fight for second and third opportunities. And we did that in spurts last night, but if you can wear on teams doing that for 60 minutes, you're going to find a lot more pay dirt in front of the net.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We'll wrap up with Ted Colfin from the Detroit News.
Hey, Bobby, this is going a little sideways, but just these 2-game series, seems like a lot of guys around the league are really enjoying it early on, and they think it's a good idea, limits travel. Yeah. I mean, for you personally, do you think this is something going forward that, the league should consider?
Yeah, I guess you'll have to ask me halfway through the season. I think I'd have a better feel. But But I do like the sense. I've always liked home and homes, and you got more of them in the Western Conference than you did in the East, especially 10, 12 years ago. I think you saw more of that. But it's good for creating rivalry. It's good for, I think, the intensity and the physicality will ramp up as we see more and more games of that nature. I think I've read that there's teams that are going to play each other 4 times in a row at some point. Like those are mini series and they're all divisional games. So when you ramp that up and you factor in that every night's essentially a 4-point game in your division, I think it'll serve the league very well. And, to answer your question about the travel side of things, I think it's great. I've never enjoyed the fact that you go in for a game, you play and you move on to the next city. Like if you're going to be there twice, just play them twice and get it done with. But, with the state of the world, it serves our purposes right now, but going forward, it's something to think about 100%.
We saw, obviously you saw it too when you moved from the West to the East, and we all saw it here too. It's easier in the East than it was in the West, right? Just the travel and all that.
Yeah, I think the first year I did it, I think it was like 28 nights in my own bed more than in the Western Conference. That's a significant difference.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bobby.
All right, Dad, have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. We'll wrap up with Coach Blashill shortly.